Hello everyone and welcome to This is America. Here are the top US news for the week. After years of suffering and bloodshed, the war in Gaza is over. US President Donald Trump said in a speech to fellow leaders at the Peace Summit in Egypt shortly after the signing of the Gaza Peace Declaration. "It's so beautiful to see a new and beautiful day is rising, and now the rebuilding begins," he added. "It is a tremendous day for the Middle East." US President Donald Trump hailed an end to a painful nightmare after 2 years of war in Gaza during an address to Israel's parliament on Monday. From October 7 until this week, Israel has been a nation at war, enduring burdens that only a proud and faithful people could withstand, he said. US President Donald Trump gave remarks on Lebanon during his address at the Knesset. "My administration actively supports Lebanon's new president and his mission to permanently disarm Hezbollah's terrorist brigades. He is doing very well. We are also working to build a prosperous Lebanon at peace with its neighbors. Good things are happening." US President Donald Trump on Monday said he wanted a peace deal with Iran after the United States joined Israel in striking the Islamic Republic's nuclear sites during a brief war earlier this year. Trump said the ball was in Tehran's court for any agreement to come to pass. "We're ready when you are," he said. And that's your US recap of the week. What is the Sharm el-Sheikh Peace Summit? A historic peace summit took place in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, bringing together more than 20 world leaders in a united push to turn Gaza's fragile ceasefire into lasting peace. Co-hosted by US President Donald Trump and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, the summit officially endorses the first phase of the Gaza peace plan, a breakthrough that's already seen in all Israeli hostages freed, nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners released, and Israeli troops beginning to pull back from parts of Gaza. Now attention turns to the next steps: disarming Hamas, forming a transitional technocratic government, and launching a massive international reconstruction effort to rebuild homes, schools, and hospitals across Gaza. Leaders from France, the UK, Jordan, Qatar, and the United Nations are backing the plan, calling it a moment of renewal and a turning point for a region long scarred by war. And the message from Sharm el-Sheikh is clear. It is one of hope that after years of conflict, peace is possible, and it's finally in motion.
On October 13th, President Donald Trump made a historic trip to Israel and Egypt, marking the launch of a US-brokered ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas and the start of a bold 20-point peace initiative. The visit came just days after a ceasefire in Gaza allowed thousands of displaced Palestinians to return north, and coincided with the release of 20 Israeli hostages and nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, a major step in ending a war that has raged for over 2 years. In Jerusalem, Trump addressed the Knesset, Israel's parliament, to thunderous applause alongside Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, and Prime Minister Netanyahu.
"It's the start of a grand concord and lasting harmony for Israel and all the nations of what will soon be a truly magnificent region." I believe that so strongly. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
Later that day, Trump landed in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, for a high-stakes summit with world and regional leaders. The scenic Red Sea resort had been the backdrop for secret talks between Israel, Hamas, and international mediators. At the summit, Trump discussed next steps: rebuilding Gaza, recovering the bodies of hostages, and extending the ceasefire into a lasting peace. He was joined by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, as hopes rose for a new era in the Middle East.
After years of suffering and bloodshed, the war in Gaza is over. Humanitarian aid is now pouring in, including hundreds of truckloads of food, medical equipment, and other supplies, much of it paid for by people in this room. Civilians are returning to their homes. The hostages are reuniting.
As he left Sharm el-Sheikh, Trump's message resonated across the region: peace through strength and diplomacy on his terms.